All right, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of the Uncomfortable Chat. I am Steve Wheatcroft, your host. Today we got a good one for you, folks. If you are a golf fan, a sports fan that loves to hear golf stories from inside the ropes, caddy player style, and just like to laugh, I got your pod for you. We got ESPN Zone Michael Collins on the pod with us today. Mikey, I've known for years. He is one hilarious human being, as you're about to find out. Some incredible laughs here and some great stories from Mikey. So, without further ado, I give you Michael Collins. 3, 2, 1, let's roll, baby. We got a special one for you today, guys. And I want to welcome on a very special guest. He's a stand-up comedian turned PGA Tour caddy turned ESPN golf media mogul. He has a fashion sense that makes you try to locate a seeing eye dog, but a beard that makes Santa Claus jealous. America's caddy himself, Mr. Michael Collins. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. How are you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. Nice to have you on here.
It's great to be on, dude. I love what you're doing, man.
I appreciate you.
Important.
I appreciate you. Well, let's get to the really important stuff here first. What was the Halloween costume last night?
I didn't dress up, man. This is the one Halloween in a while that I didn't do a costume. Like, I stayed home and was just handing out candy. Actually,
Wow.
I wasn't even handing out candy. What I did do was I put a bowl of candy outside my front door, and then I got windows by my door that go to the floor.
Yep.
And a little sign that said, "Please take 2 pieces of candy." And then I let the teenagers come over and like they was gonna grab a handful or dump the whole thing. And then my pit bull Tyson would be at the window and he would lose his crap. Like if somebody reached their hole, if they did it like this,
Yep.
he would lose it. And I would just look out from behind the door and jiggle the door handle. So everybody would jump. The kids would jump and they would just one finger just 1, 2. And I was like, trick or treat. Trick or treat, bitches.
Oh, you're the best, man. Only you'd have the pit bull on standby during trick or treat.
Hey,
I
man,
like
Tyson don't want you to take pieces of candy, bro. Just don't be greedy. You know what I mean? You take a handful and the door gets open. I don't know what's going to happen. Then you get the trick.
I love it. Yeah, we did that last year. We put the bowl out there because my kids still want to be out and about running around. They're at that fun age. And lo and behold, man, they took the whole bowl even. They didn't even leave the bowl. They just took the bowl and put it in a bag somebody. So
right. You know what I mean?
Said
that's the first part. It's either teenagers or them fat ass Karens running around and just to get don't want to dump the whole thing, go to bowl, and then leave.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Kids don't even get no candy. It's that like Honey Boo Boo looking mamas that just
I said next year I'm gonna set up like 3 chairs out front around the table where I put the candy, and I'm gonna have like 2 like stuffed mannequins, we'll call them. So it looks like there could be somebody underneath the mask, and then I'm gonna be sitting in the middle one and not moving at all. But the first time I see somebody go for more than one piece, I'm jumping out of that chair and gonna scare the hell out of some kids.
See, that would be awesome too. And I thought about doing that, but I don't know how to hide the beard. Like if people saw the beard, they would know it was me right away.
Yeah, you got to go
no
big.
Real way to
Yeah, I'm going full big like helmet mask, like where you can't see any part of my head, where it looks like I just staged it, with 3 dummies there, and then I'll be the dummy in the middle.
I went to Halloween Horror Nights. You're not allowed to wear a costume, but I wore the Michael Myers suit without the mask. Because I thought that's kind of cool. Because like they're not gonna be like, "Hey, sir, you can't wear that." And I'm like, I just got off work. You don't want mechanics here?
This is
Halloween Horror
normal for
Nights,
me.
and so some people got it, which was pretty cool. That was pretty cool that like people got it, and then I got recognized, which was weird. It still freaks me out, when people are like, and I'm like, what? What did I do? What? The guy's like, can I get a picture? I was like, oh my gosh, I thought you were like doing something else. That was crazy. Oh, yeah, of course. So
I can't
it
remember if
was
it's your
wild.
Twitter or your Instagram handle, but you're like it. I think it says something to the effect of "I'm the guy that does the thing," or like I'm the guy who looks like the guy that does that thing. That's so
Yeah,
appropriate. That's so great
yeah.
because everybody's just coming up to you like, "Wait, you're that guy that you wait? Aren't you do that thing with the golf or you're the comedian?" Yeah.
Most people up and they all be like, hey, you're the Golf Channel guy. Be like, nah, I'm the
No.
golf dude, but the other, bro, I'm not
Yep.
Golf Channel. Yeah,
Other
nope.
network. Wrong
Yeah,
paycheck.
yeah, yeah. I'm
All right.
ABC, not.
Heavy hitting question number 2 here. How we feeling about your Philadelphia Eagles? Mm,
Nervous optimism.
okay. I can see that. It's about where I had you
I'm
going with
very,
this one.
bro. I'm such a big fan. Like I got friends that are with the team, like
Yep.
throughout the whole organization. So, man, I want it for them so bad, and like I want. So I was at the Super Bowl, we lost, and then at the party afterwards, and I'll never forget Nick Sirianni coming over and being like, "Hey man, I'm trying to get you a tattoo, another tattoo," because he knows like
Yeah.
me and Kevin Nagandi knew that if the Eagles won the Super Bowl for the first time, we was getting a tattoo. So Nagandi still ain't got his, but like Doug Peterson designed this one,
Did he really?
and I'm very proud of it. Yeah,
Yes, you.
because he was on the
That's
podcast,
awesome.
Matt Barry podcast, and he came on, and I told him I was like, "Hey man, you made everybody in Philly cry and party for a week and whatnot, and now I gotta get this tattoo. Is there any chance?" And he was like, "I got you," and I was like, "Okay, all right,
Wow.
cool." Which is why I'm like, now, the part of me is like, "Hey man, I'm glad that he's in Jacksonville because it's an AFC team, so I can I don't gotta." Other than this weekend, I ain't got to worry about like rooting against the Jaguars,
Yep.
unless they play the Eagles. Cool.
Yep.
So Jaguars are kind of my adopted AFC team, you know.
Okay.
So
Well, plus he
you
took
know
it
that
easy on you. He didn't say like, "Hey, I drew you one, but it's got to go on your neck."
no,
The
I
face
didn't. I'm not
tattoo.
gonna let it. That's like fantasy football losing leagues. Like I
Yeah.
don't do that kind of stuff. Like, hey, I lost in fantasy football, so that's why I got this face tattoo, and I can only do Doritos commercials for the rest of my life.
Oh, I love it. I love it, man. I'm pulling for your Eagles, man. I'm.
Hey, if you think, yo, I'm gonna be somebody, I'm gonna blow up, and you get all them face tattoos and it don't work out. Like now, what do you do? Like what
Yep.
was the end goal? Like, hey
Yep.
man, I thought you was gonna be a rapper. Well, I was. What would you like, a basket or a cart? Welcome to Walmart. You'd be like, oh snap, that did not work out for you.
Well, a lot of our listeners probably know that you were a stand-up comedian before you got started in all this, but I'm not sure they know all that much of your story. Can you elaborate a little bit on how you started down that road and the ups and downs you faced in the first few years? And don't be afraid to drop a cruise ship in there, maybe.
You remember.
Oh, I
Well, that's
remember.
people don't know. Saw me. You saw me when I was still doing stand up. We met. We've known each other for a long, long time. So you knew me when I was still doing stand up full time, and caddying was just a hobby. Like it was the fun thing I did
Yep.
on my weeks off, or I would double up. So for me, it was crazy. Like that first. If I go way, way back, that first tournament was 1998 in Hilton Head, South Carolina, at the RBC Heritage Open back in the day. It was just called, back then it was MCI, right?
Yep.
And so yeah, uh I remember a kid I went to high school with was like, hey, and I don't know nothing about golf, like pro golf, nothing. I had just only been playing for about a year, something like that. Like I had been playing long at all. I was terrible. but I love the game. So this my kid I went to high school with was always like, "Hey man, if you're ever here for the tournament," I was like, "All right." So in '98, I'm I'm booked there for the week of the tournament because the dude that normally does it, his wife was having a baby, so he couldn't do it. He did it for like 12 years. So I finally get to go. I called my man up, "Yo, I'm coming." He was like, "Perfect. I got us tickets for Tuesday." So I don't even think they play on Tuesday. He was like, "No, we're gonna watch practice." And I was like, "Okay, bro, we're watching golf practice, bro. Come on, man. Are you crazy?" And he was like, "No, it'll be fun." And I was like, "Fun? Like watching practice? Like, come on, dude." And he was like, "No, no, trust me, okay." And we walk in, and you remember back in the day, Hilton had the putting green was elevated. It was raised on
Yeah.
that little platform thing,
Yep.
like a cement platform. So we walk in, and this dude's putting. He just stops putting and walks over. "Yo, oh my gosh, what are you doing here? You got shows?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do actually." He was, "This is great, man. I gotta come to the show. We gotta hang out. It's been too long." And I was like, "Okay." And he walks away. Now my buddy, who's an assistant pro, he knows everything in pro golf. He looks at me. He's like, "You know Billy Andre?" I'm like, "I've never seen that guy before in my life." We found out later from Omar. He thought it was Darius Rucker. He thought it was Hootie from Hootie and the Blowfish because I was so much thinner back then and didn't like have the full beard, had the baseball cap and stuff. So my first nickname on tour was Little Hootie, and the first golfer I met, they thought it was Darius. So I talked about that on stage. But anyway, then I meet Omar Uresti and his brother Hoss. They come to the show Tuesday night, hook me up with clubhouse badges. I'm at the tournament every day. Start booking comedy wherever the tour is going to be. So in the daytime, I hang out on the golf course, and at night they come to the shows, like all the golfers and caddies and stuff. And whatever we talk about on the course, I'll take it on stage with me too. So like it was like a fun thing. And then Robert Gomez called me one week and said, "Hey, I'm playing like shit. My caddy quit. I got to do a rehab start on the Nike tour. I need to remember how to have fun on the golf course. You want to come caddy for me in Louisiana?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not? Okay. I don't know what I'm doing, but okay." And we get to Louisiana and the course is underwater. There's no practice rounds are canceled. The pro-am's canceled. So we get there Tuesday thinking we're playing in the pro-am. And they gave him a golf cart, was like, "You and your caddy can drive around, but you're not allowed to hit a shot." Now, I don't know nothing about pro golf or caddy. So we're driving around, and I'm like, "Yep, that's a golf hole. Yep, there's another one. I bet they got 18 on this thing." It's amazing. They got 18. Yep, I seen the holes before. This is awesome. So now Thursday, first round, it's real. I got the bib on, and I'm like, "Yo, I don't." Par five downhill. He comes over, takes the head cover off the driver. I'm like, "Yo, come here. Don't hit it in that sand thing right there because I don't know how to rake." Okay. And he just looked at me, and I was like, looking at him like, "Why is he looking at me like that?" And of course, you know where he's gonna hit it, right?
Yep.
So he goes right bunker and he slams the club down. And I was like, "Bro, I just told you don't hit it in there, man." And he was like, "You can't say that." And I was like, "Now you tell me what to say." So when we got down there, I was like, "Man, what you gonna do?" Because this is a washed out bunker. And he was like, "I'm gonna hit 3-wood in the front greenside bunker and get up and down for birdie. It's a par five." And I was like, "Fool, I just told you I don't know how to rake, man. You're gonna hit it in 2 bunkers on the first hole." I was like, "If you hit it in that front bunker, I'm gonna call immigration and tell them you're an illegal alien. You're not even allowed to be here." And he's trying not to laugh. And he gets there and he's posing as the 3-wood perfect right in the front. He calls his shot right in the front bunker. And he looks at me like with this dumbass smirk on his face, and I put the bag down. "Hey, security, this dude is not legal. He's not even supposed to be here." Like, he goes, "Get your black ass down there to learn how to rake." And then I was laughing, and he's laughing, and then I was like, "Oh crap! Like we're not alone." I look over, and the other 2 golfers and their caddies are looking at us like, "What in the hell is going on?" And that was it, man. And then after we played, other guys were like, "Hey, man, call me when you got a week off from comedy because I need to remember how to have fun sometime." And it started snowballing. So fast forward, then I had done a couple of things on Golf Channel for PGA Tour. Um, like I remember they turned a a hotel lobby into a fake comedy club, and then through that, ended up caddying for a bunch of different dudes. I was caddying for Brendan Pappas, and he was like, "Hey, they're going to call you from this new production thing they're doing for USA Network, a show called PGA Tour Sunday. They're looking for new stuff. And I told them my caddy's a stand-up comic. So the next thing you know, I'm on USA Network for 5 seasons doing PGA Tour Sunday. Doing the first bit I did was called the Caddy Corner, and then they did something called Open Mic where I was doing interviews where I like sat down and met celebrities. That's like me and George Lopez met that way and became really good friends. He like my big brother.
Yep.
And then through doing that, I was still caddying. I was still doing stand up and caddying for Omar at the Byron Nelson. And this dude comes up to me on the driving range and was like, "Hey, I know you're doing stand up and caddying, but like, if you got weeks off, how would you feel about doing play by play?" And I was like, "Yeah." Who you with? Like NBC, ESPN, CBS, Golf Channel, ABC? Like who you with? And he was like, "I'm with XM Radio." Golf on the radio? Come on, man. It's hard to watch paint dry. You think people are gonna listen to paint dry on the radio? Come on, bro. And he was like, "Well, that's why we think you might be good at it, because comedian, caddy, like your perspective." And I was like, "You know what? Why not?" Well, guess what? It turns out that the head of Fox Sports at the time and the head of ESPN's digital, like their whole magazine.com, those two heads of Fox and ESPN were closet golf fanatics that listened to golf on the radio. And they heard me doing interviews and was like, "Who in the hell is this dude? He does not speak like a golf journalist or a normal play-by-play guy, and golfers don't talk to him the same way they talk to everybody else." And next thing you know, I did Fox's first broadcast of golf called The Ultimate Game, where Tony Finau, Kevin Streelman, Scott Piercy won. Eric Axley was like, there's a list of guys who became PGA Tour winners that were at this event back in the day that wasn't for touring pros.
Yep.
And then through that, I got reached out on Twitter by ESPN. And that was a crazy one too. And the next thing you know, like 15 years later, here we are.
That's awesome. Just a
Yeah.
normal
But you were
transition, right?
I know you were asking about the cruise ship, man. The cruise ship was crazy. Like that's people were like, "Hey man, you did stand-up comedy like from Canada to the Caribbean all over, blah blah blah, this and that. You know, you ever work a cruise ship?" And I'll be like, "Yeah." Yeah, the cruise ship that I worked on, though, wasn't like Carnival or like Norwegian or Royal Caribbean. I worked on a cruise line called Dolphin Cruise Lines. It's not even in existence anymore. It was like the Motel 6 of the sea. Imagine a spray cruise ship. Like the most catty hotel on a boat is what this thing was like. And like the room I stayed in, like you literally bathroom, you can shit, shower, and brush your teeth all at the same time. That's how tiny the bathroom was. It was horrible.
Oh, oh God, you're the best, man. Couple tidbits from that story, man. I love that you made it half a hole before arguing with your player enough, and you were getting ready to walk off because you couldn't rake a bunker. And of course, you gave him the perfect advice of where not to hit it. That's just what every caddy does. I had
Right. That's what dude. I was confused when I was like, "Yo, don't hit it in the bunker." And he was like, looked at me, and in my head,
Yep.
I was like, "Why is he looking at that? Like, I don't understand. I don't
Yep.
understand." One of the other ones, one of my favorite stories. So I was caddying for Chris Couch, and we were doing well. So we get to Greenville, South Carolina, and he was like, "You know what? I'm gonna take the week off." I'm like, "Bro, we just pulled in. Like, what you like? You're not gonna play? Nah, I'm gonna go home, chill." So I'm in the parking lot as he says this. Now I'm just standing there, and Jumbo, you remember John Elliott?
Oh yeah.
So John Elliott is there too, and he hears me and Couchy, and he's like, "Yo, Couch, can I borrow Mike for the week?" And Couchy's like, "Yeah, go ahead." And Jumbo was a stand-up comedy. Like, he loved the fact that I did stand-up. He actually, one time, he was going to go up and do 5 minutes and then chicken out, but that's a different story. It's hilarious how that went down. But Greenville, we're sitting there, and I'm like, "All right, man, I'll caddy for you for the week, man. This is going to be fun." So my man, you remember how long he was off the tee back in the day? Well, my man
Oh
on
yeah.
Thursday makes bogey like out of the first 5 holes with wedge in his hand. So now he's bitching and complaining, I'm the worst wedge player in the world. I don't know why I'm wasting my time out here. I suck. And I'm like, this is supposed to be my day, my week off. Like, and I thought we was going to have fun. Like, what is this going on? So we get to the par 5 ninth, and my man hits it driver in the rough and tries to hit 3-wood and pops it up. And it's middle of the fairway, about 100 yards. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this dude now. Oh, the worst wedge player out here. So we get to the ball. I slam the bag down. Bam. And it makes him jump, and I was like, yeah, you suck. And he just looks at me, and I was like, man, bro, you suck. I go, hey, there's a bar like 2 miles down. Maybe you can be pro in darts or try something else. And he just laughs, and he was like, fuck you, and hits it to 2 inches with a wedge. So I'm like, oh, here we go. So now we get to the 10th hole, and he hits driver again, but it's downhill like 430. And I was like, so he hits it, and we get down there, and I was like, why did you hit driver? We got 60 yards left. You know you suck with the wedges. And again, he's like, F you. Hits it to 2 feet. Birdie again. So now we get to the 11th, par 3, 139 yards. And I was like, well, it's got wedge in the name, suck. What are you going to do? And he's now stands, and as soon as he makes contact, he's posing. I'm like, oh, don't go in the hole. Don't go in the hole. And the thing, 2 hops, spins left, hole in 1. We go birdie. And as it goes in the hole, but it's nationwide tour back in the day, so there's like 6 people around the green. Or whatever, 6 people. But he's posing, and as it goes in, he looks over at me, and I'm like, I'm the worst wedge player in the world. I don't know why I'm bothering me. And he throws the club laughing and takes off. It was awesome. It was awesome. So, yeah, after I told him he sucked, he went birdie, hole in 1.
That sounds about right. You got to get him fired up every now and then, right? I was
every
playing.
Now and then, you got to. I could everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's people ask, like, why? What is it about caddy I love so much? It's that. It's the psychology of knowing the right thing at the right time to say to the right guy. Like, I couldn't have done that if I was caddying for Omar. I could have never done that to Omar.
Right.
And while caddying for, like, I could have never said something like that to Chopra to get him out of a bad mind space, or Couchy, or like every guy is so different. Like, that's what I loved about caddying so much. It was like comedy. I was the dude on stage with the microphone, and it was all on me. Caddying, I'm like the vice president. Ain't nobody sees or hears from me. And this is back in the day where, like back in the day, there was no such thing when a guy played well as we. You never heard golfers after their round, we did a great job out there, or we had or my boy gave me the right club. It was always like I. But caddies were cool with that. Like, that's fine. That's how it is. But now it's all about, like, you hear, hey, me and Greller, or like me and my guy, or me and, like, you hear Austin B and AJ. Like, we hear all these dudes say stuff now where it's a team game, and I love that. I love that.
Yes. I think the caddy profession has come a long, long, long ways in the last 20 years. It went from just picking up a guy in the parking lot that was going to carry your bag to, these guys are integral parts. And they're all, half of them are former players, either on tour or mini tours, or great college players. And they're young, athletic, cleaned up, fit. It's changed completely.
This right here.
Yeah, a little bit of cash in your pocket too doesn't hurt.
All because of money. You know what I mean? Believe me, when we started caddying, back in the day when we met, bruh, no caddy had a financial advisor.
No. It was their checking account. Now, how much money do I have in my checking account? That was the standard financial advisor.
Most dudes had their check at the golf course.
Yep.
You get paid. The guy writes you a check, and you go to PGA Tour Finance, and they give you the cash. And you be like, how much was rent? And then how much was the rental car? And then I shared the hotel room with 6 other dudes. What, I owe you $30 for the week? All right, here's your $30. Yeah.
That's a good point. I wonder if they still even have check cashing out there. I don't remember seeing it the last couple of years that I was out there.
Nah.
They probably do somewhere.
Can you imagine? There would have to be a Brinks truck somewhere. It'd be like, especially now with the money that's out there, like some of the gambling games. Can you imagine going in there? Yo, I need you to break me off. I just lost again on the Tuesday afternoon.
There's going to be some guy just waiting in the caddy lot to start robbing people left and right, because now they're rich, actually. They don't have rolls of nickels anymore in their pocket. They got cash. So I got a quick
Correct.
side a funny story here. So you've caddied Reno before, haven't you?
Bro, that's my Johnny Dangerous league. I caddy Reno once.
Yep. Yep. One and done, right? That place is brutal walk, dude. So you remember 17, the one you hit off a cliff and you go straight down, you walk down a mile. So we're caddying there. We're playing there, and I've got a buddy of mine who's he was a friend of Chris DeMarco's. We flew in together. I didn't have a caddy for the week, and they're like, "Hey, you want to take our friend Will here? He's coming to watch Chris play anyway." And young college kid, he was here in Jacksonville, ironically enough. And I said, "Sure, I'll take Will for the week." So we're playing, we're going along. We get to 17, and I hit it right down the middle of the fairway, and it's at back left pin. And I go, "All right, Will, what do we got here, boss?" And he's so serious. He's staring at the yardage book, cranking out numbers like he has. He hadn't smiled all day because he's so nervous. He's like, "Okay, we got this and this and that. You got like 120 to cover the corner. You got 132 pin. Long is disastrous." I go, I kind of gave him like the head nod. I'm like, "Long is disastrous." Okay. That's something you don't say to your player, but I didn't say it out loud. And then I start laughing. I had to turn my head and I'm like, "All right, give me those numbers. Like 120 cover." He's like, "Yeah, yeah." And I go, "And long you said was no good, right?" And he goes, No, it's disastrous. Like it's so bad back there." And I just started laughing. I go, "Just give me the damn club." And I hit the shot and I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, "Dude, just don't say stuff like that again. Like you made me laugh. I didn't care, but you say that to somebody getting fired on the spot. Like the last thing I want to know is some place is disastrous." Yep. So my man Willie Tutt. Yeah, Willie Tutt, if you're listening, man, I love you, brother. That was one of my greatest all time. So I'm gonna put you on the spot here. So there's certain player caddy relationships that are different than others. Some guys just click out there. Who did you have the most fun caddying for on tour?
Oh,
because some guys are just hey, they're nice guys, we got along well, and then there's other guys you just like, we have a blast out there.
I got along with it. I had fun with everybody. There was only one relationship that wasn't good. And it wasn't even that it wasn't good. Like I don't blame the play for it, but yeah, he got mad. I tell this story and he gets so mad. Like he's so mad at me. But like, who's the most fun? Like everybody was. It was different. I caddied for Omar the longest. I probably had the funniest. So the funniest caddy, other than like the jumbo saying that he sucked thing, um, the funniest stressful moment looking back now, and Brendan would probably agree with me. I was caddying for Brendan Pappas, and we were at the John Deere, and we started on the back nine, so 10's a par five. We made par there, and like we made a bogey at the really difficult par three. That par three, I think that's a 12 the par
12.
three. Yeah, so we made a bogey there. So we're one over. It's Thursday. So now we get on 13, which is that short par four, like 3-wood. And if you remember back in the day, there was a bunker on that left-hand side that had a high side on the like right.
Yep,
so it's left
still
bunker.
There.
Yeah, okay. So he hits it in that left bunker. And the green is a little elevated.
Mm-hmm.
So now he gets down in that bunker, and like the top of that bunker is over his head, and he's 6'1". So I'm standing off to the side, and I can just barely see the top of the flag. And it's a left hole location. So my man hits it at the flag stick, and it turns over a little bit. And I think it's on the edge of the green, but I can't. So now he hits it in a bunker and snaps. Let me back up. He hits it in the bunker so bad he snaps his 3-wood. This is Thursday on the 4th hole. We didn't know it at the time, but he had a little sugar deficiency thing, which now got to make more sense. That he snapped. And Thursday, we're only one over. Like, so now he hits the shot from the left fairway bunker, and as it goes up by the hole, I was like, sit right there. But he looks at me and he goes, "Where'd that go?" And I was like, I think it might be on the fringe, but I'm not sure. And he looks at me and he was like, what do you mean you're not sure? Like, I'm paying you to know where the ball goes up there if I can't. So which then made, I don't know where it came from, but then I snapped. And I'm like, you're 6'1". If you can't see over the fucking bunker, how am I supposed to see where the ball? And now he's now trying not to laugh because he's never seen me snap before. Because I'm now so jacked up because he just broke a 3-1. I'm trying to hide it so he doesn't get fined. And he's snapping at me. And it gets better. So ball's on the fringe, makes birdie, we're even. But he's still jacked. You remember the reachable par 4? Hits driver down there to the front edge, and he's like, we got to do something. And I'm like, bro, it's Thursday, 5th hole. Chill, man. Chill. It's going to be okay. No, it's not. And he's like, what? So now, he's like, go down there. Let me give you the read. I got it. Okay, all right, cool. So now the other caddies are like, man, what's going on? I was like, I don't know. So now he proceeds to flub. He tries to hit a little chip, flubs it. Again, loses his crap. But what does he do? Makes a 35-footer for the birdie anyway. So now, of course, there's only 12 people following us at Deer. So he makes the birdie. He's yay. But now I've snapped. So one of the only times I've ever wore a belt on the golf course, I lift up my bib and undo my belt, and I start taking my belt off. And he's waving. He turns. He's waving to the crowd. And when he turns back, he sees me, and I'm taking my belt off. And I'm like, and I'm out to him. I'm going to beat your ass right now. And then he just is. And he starts like, now he's trying to have, and he's walking. Because, you know, the tee box is right behind the green, but he's trying to go around. I'm like, nope, I'm going to beat your ass when we get over there. And now he's laughing, and I'm trying not to laugh, too, man. And so Brendan and I, like, we used to have the wildest time on the golf course. It was crazy. But, like, I don't know, me and Streels one time at the John Deere, on that long par 4 down the hill where you got to kind of hit across a little like ravine thing. Remember that? And the green slope from front to back, so you couldn't necessarily see. All right, so Streels hit like a really nice 7-iron in to that hole. But like at the time, nobody knew who he was. So the only people following was his mom and like his wife and like 2 other people that were with the other guys in the group. So he hit 7-iron right at the flag and must have hit it in there tight because his mom just goes, woo! And he looked at me, he goes, that had to be good. I ain't hear mom scream like that in a while. And they took 2 steps and then realized what he had just said to a stand-up comedian. And before I could take the step to say anything, he turns around and he goes, shut up. Don't say, you better not say one word. Don't say what. And now I'm bust out laughing. But nobody knows why I am on literally holding the bag. I can't walk because what Streels realized what he just said to me and stuff. And of course, you think I'm going to let that go? Man.
Nope.
We had that. I said that a few more times. Boy, if Mama's here, I bet she would scream, huh? You hear Mama scream? So, like, there's so many different moments that I've had with all the guys that I've caddied, and they've all been fun, good moments, man. So it's like, yeah.
That's awesome. On a side note, I do want to say, since this is a quote-unquote mental health podcast, to our golf fans out there, if you're following groups on Thursday and you see a guy throwing a temper tantrum, he's got shit going on outside the golf course. I'm going to tell you right now. If he makes it 2 or 3 holes on a Thursday and he's throwing full-blown fits, there's more going on. I promise you. You can't hold your shit together for 3 or 4 holes.
You know, the one thing that nobody gets to talk about, and you can't talk about it on a broadcast. You can't talk about it like when you're doing play-by-play, right? Like, as a caddy, when you come to the golf course, the only person who's going to know how your night and morning was is me. Yep. Right? Like, people could have watched you Pro-Am or Tuesday's round and be like, yo, this dude can't miss a shot. This dude is on like Donkey Kong. But what they don't see is, but last night he was on the phone with his girl and she was screaming at him and hollering and she might have like done some, so he ain't in a good, but he on the outside, you don't know that. So it's like, this dude lost his crap on it. Be like, I don't understand. So when guys are like, hey, this guy's gonna play well, this guy's gonna play well, you'd be like, hey, I don't know if you noticed, but there's no numbers for that. There ain't no like, well, when this guy gets into a fight with his kids or his wife before he comes to the golf course, he normally shoots 68. They're like, oh, really? Okay, well, it was good to know those stats. Like, my analytics show, like, F your
Yep.
analytics. Like, we're human beings. And that is so easily lost
Yes.
in broadcast and in what we do that we forget, like, hey, some days when you go to work and you have a crappy day at work because of something that happened at home, you think athletes don't go through that too? And most people forget, be like, oh yeah, that's right. Like,
Yep.
they have lives at home outside of what we see on TV. And it's so easy to forget something like that. And like, it's such an important thing that no one gets to talk about because it's so taboo in ways. Like,
Oh
hey
yeah.
man, I got like, if people are gambling on football or baseball or golf nowadays too, hey man, I got money on this dude. I'm not trying to hear he was arguing with his family or like one of his family members is sick or something. I'm not trying to hear that. Well, it, how would you feel if your boss said that to you when you went to work and
Yep.
and weren't having a good day? You know what I mean? Like, you're cool with that? Like, hey man, I'm not gonna write you the same check because your mom is sick and in the hospital and you don't want nobody to know. So you're trying to hide that and keep it in because you're still trying to perform at your job at a level that is what you would consider acceptable. So imagine doing that with other people at the highest level of golf. And that gets lost a lot in sports, not just our sport, but in all sports. And it's an important thing to remember that, like, these people are just that. They're people. They're human beings. They're going through the same things behind the scenes and behind closed doors that you are. And always keep that in mind when you're like, man, what's wrong with this dude? How's he gonna make like 2 or 3 bogeys in? Like, hey man, the same way that you're gonna come home and somebody's gonna say something to you, you're gonna take it the wrong way. That's
Yep.
how.
Yeah. Or hey, he's got a newborn at home and he hasn't slept in 2 weeks and he's been trying to get his practice in, but he's also trying to help his wife and spend time with his newborn. And he still has all the same stresses because his chipping's been off for a month, but he's trying to work on that. But it's kind of hard to chip when you haven't slept. And it's like, man, this guy's got the chip yips. No, 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 no. He's got a newborn.
And
It's they come together
and
sometimes.
and the other thing that people forget, especially when you go from not having a family to having a family, like, people that have jobs every day and get to go home every day, they take it for granted sometimes that you get to see your family every day. Like, golf is such a selfish sport, and you have to be selfish. But as
Yep.
a dad, the guilt that you feel for leaving your child is real. Like, there are times when it's like, hey, I know I'm supposed to be out here grinding and practicing and getting better at something that is I consider weak in my game. But how much am I really getting accomplished when I'm out there and all I'm thinking about is I want to be with my kid. I want to be with my wife and my baby and help out because I feel guilty for leaving these people to go at it alone. And that's why, like the importance of having somebody who almost kicks you out of the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because it's easy to have somebody who would be like, if you come home and they're like, so how was your day at work today? Right? You can tell by the tone, it's like, well, I already know how this is going to go. Right?
Yep.
Like, I'm out there grinding because I'm trying to be the bread maker, the breadwinner for our family. And yet, the person that's supposed to be supportive of me doing this is making me feel guilty for something I already feel guilty for. How in the hell am I going to perform at my best? And everybody on the outside does not give two shits about that. They don't, because
Yep.
it's not something you think of. That's a personal thing. So you don't think it happens to everybody else in the world. Because everything you see on social media is the best of the best. Like, hey, sunshine and rainbows. It ain't real life.
No. Nope, couldn't agree with you more. There's something. There's so many things that go on there. We could talk about that one for days. I want to take a quick minute to thank our first ever sponsor at the Uncomfortable Chat, and that's Slipstream IT, a company redefining IT for life sciences. At Slipstream, they partner with a purpose and believe in the power of technology in the life sciences to enable people to live healthier, more fulfilling lives. You can learn more about Slipstream at slipstream-it.com. And now back to Michael Collins. All right, folks, for those of you that are watching on YouTube, no, we didn't go through wardrobe changes. We had some technical difficulties here, and I had to pick back up recording the next day. But we good to go. We ready to roll. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, forget all that stuff. Just enjoy the pod. All right, Mikey, good to have
If
you
you're
back,
watching
bud.
on YouTube, I just decided not to stay in my car. That's pretty much that's what that means. That's all that it was like. You don't want to just be sitting in the car like the creepy dude at a gun range for a minute. Like,
You were in there for
yeah.
about an hour or two. They had to have been calling people.
Yeah, it's great to do that, but we were recording before the election, and so people were a little stressed out as it was. So the fact that we get to finish after the fact, everybody kind of take a deep breath. One side
Yep.
is celebrating a little bit, like, hey, we didn't need all this extra ammo. And the other side is like, the world's gonna come to an end and everything's over. Like, no, it's all right.
Nice to see you made it out safe and sound, buddy.
Yes, it's all right. I'm good.
All right, man. We'll pick up where we left off here. So I'll let you pick, since you're the caddy here, I'll let you pick the club on this one. You got any good ones for either bad yardages that you gave your player or celebrating a win? And it doesn't even have to be your own win. It could be out with somebody else who won. You just happen to be at the old after party.
Ooh, man.
I'll let you pick the club.
All right, I'll give you two of them. I'll give you one of each. How's that?
Beautiful.
First one is wrong club. The very first week I caddy for Scott Piercy, and it's at the John Deere, right? And like we were friends and we knew each other for a while. Like I know him from back my first Fox broadcast. He won the ultimate game. If you remember the event that was played at the Wynn in Las Vegas and stuff, he was there. Streels was there. Eric Axley was there. Like it was, but Scott won $2 million. Like it was the biggest purse in the history of golf at the time. It was a $50,000 buy-in. You remember?
Second biggest purse, because I played in the original that was a $3 million purse, but it was a team event, 2-man team event.
Oh yeah, well no, that don't. Yeah, I'm talking about individual stroke play, no team stuff. It's like it was $2 million to the winner. That's where Tony Finau and Gipper turned pro at 16. He almost missed his graduation dance. So it was anyway back in the day. So Piercy now comes on the PGA Tour. He's doing okay, but then he's struggling. He misses like 8 cuts in a row or something like that. And I'm at Aronimink, and his caddy Darren walks up to me and is like, "Hey man, take the bag, yo. Do you want it?" And I was like, "Don't," because I was doing XM play-by-play, and I was like, "Bro, I'll trade with you right now." And he was like, "Stop playing, bro." And I was like, "You stop playing. You ain't even never done play-by-play before, but I've caddied before, and I seen your boys action. Like I know what's up." And he was like, he was playing he did a club deal, didn't work out. So anyway, him and Darren then that night they're gonna miss a cut. They're like, "Hey man," they're friends and they're still friends to this day. So he's like, "Man, I gotta do something different." So now Piercy calls me and is like, "Hey man, were you serious about coming back to caddy?" And I was like, "If you're serious, yeah. Heck yeah, I know what's up." And he was like, "All right, man, how about John Deere?" I was like, that's next week." He was like, "Yeah." Okay, count me in. Cool. He was like, "I'm giving my clubs back and the check that they wrote me. I'm going back to my old clubs and I'm meeting a brand new coach." I was like, "This will not be awesome."
Yeah.
Probably
Good luck.
Not gonna be great in the first one.
Yeah, good luck, bro.
So first, yeah, it's awesome. I was like, "Oh, great. I gotta fly to Silvis, Illinois to leave on Saturday morning." Like, non-refundable tickets. This is awesome. Guess I'm spending a couple, but now, so we get there, we're on the range. And this dude, Chris Como, I never seen him before. I don't know what he looks like or nothing. I'm not talking about the Tiger Chris Como. It's the other one.
Okay.
So this dude comes up. "Hey, I'm Chris." "Oh, hey, what's up, Michael? Scott, blah, blah. Hey, what's going on?" Scott's hitting 6 irons. And he was like, all right, I'll get a little warm and stuff. And this dude literally, he takes 3 swings, and Chris is like, stop right now, stop. And we're both like, yeah, what's up? And Chris is like, hey man, look, I need you to do this and this. I want you to feel this and do this. And Scott goes, yeah, do that and feel, okay, yeah. And it's the first swing. Pew, pew, pew. So now so Chris is standing back next to the bag. So I walk back and lean into him, and I was like, hey man, I hope you don't charge by the hour, because you just screwed yourself. Most coaches come in, they take like a few hours to fix dudes. And so it's like, hey, that's $2,000. This is a couple $100 an hour. Like you did, that was 6 swings, dude. This dude, you fixed it in 6 swings in 12 minutes. Like, here's $30, dude. You screwed yourself. Sorry, not sorry. So now, get the first hole, he hits it into 6 feet. This is awesome. And now I'm just giving yardages. Hits the putt, misread. And I seen it in the practice round a little bit. Like his putting was kind of, I don't know, what's he seeing in these putts? But I'm not saying nothing, because I'm like, this is my first week on the job. I'm not overstepping my bounds. Go to number 2, that par 5, down the hill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hits it right, but we find it, pop it out, hit it there to like 20 feet, 3 putt. And the last putt was like 3 feet. Again, misread. And I was like, oh, nope. If you're like hitting the irons, okay. Like, no, we're not. The putting thing, I'm not doing that. So we get to the par 3, hits it up on the green, and I see him lining it up, and I stand behind him. It's the first time I do it. And he like is lined up, and then he looks back, and I was like, hey man, what you got here? And he was like, it's left edge. And I was like, no, it ain't. And I get this. He goes, what? I go, bro, I need you to hit this on the inside right, please. It's a little uphill. It's an inside right edge putt. And he goes, okay. Readjust it, hits it. It goes a little bit right in the beginning and then comes back hard left, drops in the hole. And he looks at me and he comes over. He goes, you didn't tell me you could read putts too. And I go, some Christmas presents are best left open until Christmas morning, yo. So now we're off and running. We're having a good old time. Now he starts making putts. So now Saturday, we're on the par 3 7th hole. That tough par 3.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's over that little marshy area. Green slopes from right to left. It's a skinny green and stuff. And that pin is on that left side, and it's tucked right in the front. So we're first up. So now I'm strutting with that bag. Heck yeah, my boy, we just on like Donkey Kong. Go up to the tee box. I see the little metal plate there with the yard. I walk the step, the yardage off, blah, 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 this and that. Yeah. Right, bro. 7-iron all day. And he was like, love it. Hits that 7-iron, thins it a little bit. So that thing comes out screaming a little bit low. That thing barely clears, hits the top of the grass, and kicks up forward. So now the other caddies are looking at their players a little bit, right? So they give them, the next guy goes to the tee, and I hear the caddy going, and Scott's pretty long with his irons back in the day. I hear the other caddies going, this is a good 5-iron. I just gave my boy a 7-iron. What? And now I'm like looking at and I'm looking in their bag. Are they bull crapping me? And I see he got a 5-iron out. So now I gotta listen to the third guy, and I'm listening hard now because Scott's in there like a 1.5 feet because of this kick we got. I hear the other dude. He telling him it's 190 something to clear and 205 to the hole. I was like, I gave this dude like I was 30 yards off.
And
I gave him the wrong tee box. We had played the up tee the day before, and now we're on the back tee, and but he hit it and it kicked up to a 1.5 feet. So now the other dudes are confused because they heard me 7-iron all day, bruh. 7-iron all day. And now he's telling this dude, yo, this is a 5-iron, you gotta smoke it. Huh? And the guy's like, but Scott hit 7-iron to a foot. And I was like, did a little bit, but okay. Didn't. All right. My bad.
Ended a little bit. What did he do? Bone the thing?
Nah, man.
5 yards, 7.
When I tell you it was only a little bit thin, I don't know how he ended up. He must have hooded it by. That's one of those where no matter what your mind hears, your body goes, "I'm gonna make a corporate decision to help y'all out here for a second. Let me just, you know what I mean?"
Yeah.
So and like I said, it came out a little bit lower, and it barely cleared that marshy area. But the thing hits and then hops up forward. And it was like, word, let's go. And then as we're walking, the other caddies are like, bruh, you know you were on the wrong tee box with that yardage. And I was like, oh, and I was like, is that why y'all have 5 iron? And I'm trying to whisper in the back and stuff. And then we make birdie and stuff, and I go to Scott. I was like, yo, I was a little off on that yardage. But we're laughing. We made birdie. So it was like, all right, cool. Cool. That was fine.
Oh, that might be the first bad yardage story I've ever heard where the guy got away with it and you made birdie.
Yeah.
Usually it's because I'm figuring out if you came up 30 short, 30 long, because it's, I mean, absolutely dead to that pin. And you hit it.
The other good yardage story was I was caddying for Omar Uresti, and Mac O'Grady was with us at Turning Stone in New York. For the Turning Stone back in the day. And Omar hits it just on the front edge. Matt comes up like 20 yards short and turns to his caddy and goes, "You're the worst caddy in the whole world." And his caddy, without missing a beat, turns and looks at him and goes, "Well, you get what you pay for." And me and Omar were like, oh, bro, you just said that. Like, we still got a lot of holes and there ain't nobody that's going to sub in, bro. You going to say something like that? And Max starts laughing. And we're like, And then Grady goes, "Hey, this is my buddy. He never caddied before, and he's doing it for free just so he can hang out with me this week." So now we're all laughing. But when he said it, "You're the worst caddy in the whole world." Well, you get what you pay for. Oh, what? Yo. So.
Oh, that's good.
Celebration-wise, so when me and Strills won the Kodak Challenge.
Oh, yeah.
So back in the day, we won the first Kodak Challenge, so it was $1 million for first place and 0 for second. So you either win or go home. There's no second place. So we get to the last tournament of the year, Disney. We have a 1-shot lead. Troy Merritt has a chance to catch us. The one hole we're playing is the 17th hole at Magnolia. A tight little par 4. It's not that long, but it's real tight. Water right off the tee, skinny green, protected by bunkers and water. And we're playing with Johnny Damon, who had just won the World Series with the Yankees and beat my Phillies. So we're playing on Friday. So I know Kevin's jacked up, but he's trying to stay calm. So he's like, I used to do a thing called Philly Friday. Every Friday I wore something Phillies. So he knows we're playing with Johnny Damon. So on Thursday after the round, he was like, "Yo, you wearing your Philly stuff tomorrow?" And I was like, "I ain't no punk ass bitch. Yeah, I'm wearing Phillies. I don't even care." So we get there with Johnny Damon, and now Johnny's more nervous than we are because he knows what's on the line for Kevin. They're like, "Hey, man, is this with the Kodak Challenge? You guys are in a great position." And he's freaking out. So we get to the 17th, and Kev's like, "What you like?" And I was like, "Bro, you hit that driver so good. Take that driver right over the trees at the ball." He was like, "Done. Perfect drive, middle of the fairway over the trees, just tattoos it." And so now we're in between clubs. Like, is he going to try and baby a little pitching wedge, or is he going to hit full sand wedge, with some spin? Because if he babies a sand wedge but hits it too hard, it's in the back bunker and we're screwed. If he hits a good sand wedge and like does what he normally does with his hands, it's not going to spin too much. So Johnny, he's getting to play where we're at now too. My man hits this blade frozen rope dead left into the stands, and people are scattering. And I was like, "You got to play that foul ball, bro." And now everybody, he laughing, and he's like, sorry. I was sorry about that, man. Oh, I should have been drinking. Like, Johnny's awesome. So we get there now, and Kevin, he was like, what do you like? And I was like, "Bro, I know how you're feeling. It's a sand wedge all day. Hit that 54. Let's get tight and get this thing and get out of here." And he was like, "I love it." And he hits this thing right over the flagstick, spins it back to like 4 feet, makes the 4-footer for birdie. Now we got 2-shot lead. We can't lose. So I know we're going to win. Well, like, we just sealed it right then and there. But it's Friday. We were in the early wave, so the rest of the field still got to come through. So I don't get to unscrew the flag, and I'm like, I'm taking something coming home with me right now. So there was a big sign like that was in the ground that they pounded down into the ground. Kodak Challenge whole thing. I walk right over and start doing this, yank it, and I yanked the whole sign up. And now I got the bag on my shoulders and I got the sign on my shoulder. And Kevin is laughing. And I was like, I told you I'm leaving with something right now. I don't care. We had one more hole to play. We were playing 18. And I walked that sign down the 18th hole. The whole, and people were going, and I hear a guy on the radio. I hear this dude grabs his mate, Kevin Stroman's caddy just took the Kodak sign. He's leaving. The 17 sign is gone. I don't know what we should do. Can he do that? And I looked at him like, I dare you to try and come get this. Like I gave him the angry black man. And he was just like, okay, congratulations. Kevin Strill's dad comes over. You want me to carry that? Nope, get away from me. Yeah, it's mine. I got it. And I walked that thing over. And Kevin still, he tells that story to this day. Like it was one of the funniest things he's ever seen. Because we still got to play the 18th hole, which that's fine. And we're both all jacked up and stuff. I think we made par on 18 or something. But we got in with a par. And so that was, and then there was all kinds of stuff we had to do afterwards. We had a dinner that night. But like that celebration of tearing the sign that was pounded into the ground, I tore that sign out. I do have the flag, but I kept the damn sign too.
You carried that thing down, like on your shoulders down 18 while you're carrying
18th hole, I got the bag on my, I had the double strap, so I had a bag like a backpack, and I'm carrying the flag like we're going to war back in the day. Like, whatever. And of course, it was the Kodak Challenge, so it wasn't like we had 1,000 people. We weren't winning the tournament. So it was like 12 people, and they're all like, this dude, why is the caddy walking down? And I'm walking up to the green. I put the sign down, put the bag down right by the sign. Yeah, anybody, hey, don't let nobody touch this. Don't nobody touch my sign. Like, yeah, that was. And Kevin is laughing. It was pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Good for you. I can't believe I never saw a picture of that. There's got to be some floating around somewhere.
Somewhere, I would think, I don't know, like, because we played in the early morning wave, and that was back in the day. It was 2010 or 2009 or 2010. So that was way before there was no such thing as early round coverage.
Yeah, true.
Back then, you know what I mean? Back then, golf coverage came on at 4:00 for like an hour and a half. They were like, hey, here's 12 people playing golf. We're going to show 8 shots and 37 commercials back in the day. You know what I mean? There was no PGA Tour Live. So there was XM radio, but I think it's radio. Ain't nobody. And that back in the day, I mean, there wasn't big social media, so people weren't even getting their phones up, like doing.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think someone from Kodak back in the day. I mean, who knows what happened with that company? It's still kind of around by name, I think. But
you kind of hope Kodak would get a picture.
You would think so. I still have somewhere sitting around here. I still have my Kodak camera that they gave me after we won, and I used it a bunch of times. Like it's a great camera. It was like one of the first digital cameras I ever had. Yeah. It was awesome. It's around here somewhere, man.
Hey, for $1 million, you can get yourself a nice camera.
Hey, winning the Kodak Challenge, you can give me one. Why? You know what I mean?
Amen to that.
And I didn't, bro. Remember, I did not get the whole $1 million. That's the other thing. People always forget stuff like that. You'd be like, "Man, it's $1 million." Nah, because now, if you win $1 million, you're still paying taxes on that. And then, like, once Uncle Sam gets it, and me and the other caddy who had caddied the first half of the year for Strills, we split the bonus that he gave us. So,
hey, it's still not. It's still free money, right?
Hey, man,
didn't even have to win a tournament.
More than zero.
Exactly.
It's more than zero.
Exactly. I love it, brother. I want to get your opinion on something here. So, what were your opinions when the Live got started, and how have those feelings kind of evolved over the last couple of years? And also, were you ever approached by Live about working for them? Because I think you would be brilliant for the Live.
I've heard that a lot from a lot of people. And yes, I had conversations with them about it, just because so many of the guys that are over there are friends of mine. And the players, the caddies, and some of the people that worked for Live that went over there, they knew the relationships that I have with lots of the players.
Mm-hmm.
And so the players were lobbying for me to come over there because of the fun stuff that we would be able to do on the course together. I don't have a good answer to why it didn't work out. Maybe money. I honestly don't know. I tried to stay kind of out of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But honestly, my dream was I wanted to be the olive branch, to be able to do both, to be like, hey man, it's still golf. We can love the game of golf and it's okay. Like it don't have to be, well, if you're over there, I hate you. Like you got to pick a team. And that's how from when it started, that was always my thing. Like I love the PGA Tour. You know, through this whole uproar, it's Jay Monahan is someone who I consider to be a good friend. Like not just a friend, he is a good friend who he's a friend in the sense that like if somebody is talking smack, I'll throw hands for that man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when ESPN had their first big layoffs, he had just become commissioner, and I didn't know him that well then. I mean, this was way back in the day. And so at the Players Championship, Jay found me and was like, hey, Michael, I just want you to know, like, it's important that you're still here. We need you. Like, why would the commissioner of the sport of PGA Tour find me to tell me that me being a part of the game and my voice was important to be heard and that it meant something to him? And he didn't do that for a reason. He just said it because that's how he felt in his heart. And so from that moment on, I was like, yo, like, this is my guy. Like, and I tell him straight up, and this is the thing that people don't have a tough time understanding. I don't agree with everything that the tour does. And I'm very boisterous when it comes to that. Like, hey, man, I can love you without agreeing with you. That's the thing. But I understand, like, I try to see every side of all things. I try to step back. That's why when stuff happens, people are like, man, why don't you come right out? Because I need a minute to step back and I want to see both sides instead of being like, I'm just going to come out and say, and then look like an asshole later for like, you know what I never have to do? I rarely have to take stuff back.
Yeah.
Because I try to be thoughtful about it. So I wait a little bit, which isn't necessarily a great thing in today's society, but I would rather be thoughtful and like make people go, huh, yeah, you're probably right? Like I'd rather have that. And that's when Live came about, that's how I felt about Live. I was like, it's interesting. I kind of understand what they were doing. I said from the beginning, and people have picked up on it and they've been using it ever since. I was like, imagine the team aspect of what Live is trying to do. I equate to imagine what it would be like if you were trying to introduce what F1 is. Right? Yeah. You would be like, wait, team car racing? Like you got a couple of cars and there's a points. Wait, no, what? But now you see F1 and you're like, yo, how much are them teams worth now? How much does it cost to get that little sticker on a car? What? Like people understand it. But back in the day, it was like, that sounds stupid. It ain't gonna work. Ain't nobody watching that. That's dumb. I just want to watch cars circle, turn left. Like, let me see that. I'm one car for, hey, give me that damn Budweiser car. That's all I need to dang see.
Got a little loose come around turn 3.
yeah. So I looked at living that way, and I'm the eternal optimist. So I was like, hey man, let me get this straight. They're gonna pay you guaranteed money. You only got to play 14 times. You got a team aspect of it, but the money is guaranteed. Like, okay, let me see what this looks like. Let me see what it is.
Yep.
And then it was and I was like, hey, but don't get it twisted. Like, I love the PGA Tour. I love what they do, and I love that what their product is. That over there is a little bit different. It don't make it like that's a horrible thing. It's terrible. So, I had a lot of like good, deep conversations. This is one of the reasons I love Rory so much. because Roy and I had some very like good conversations about stuff early on, and like I'm still looking at things going, hey, at some point I think there's a come together. There is it might not be like when the ABA and the NBA merged. It might not be like when the AFL and NFL merged, where like two leagues became one league. I don't know if it's going to be like that. I don't think so, because I have, my view has changed as far as I think the team aspect is one of the key elements that the PIF want. I think they love the aspect of that F1, 4 or 5 guys, 3 guys matter for 2 days, and then everybody matters on the last day. And that concept is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
And people were like, I don't get it. Be like, really, you don't understand the Ryder Cup? Like, everybody who loves the Ryder Cup, they love the team format there, but then they're like, I don't understand this other stuff. Be like, come on, bro. Stop being an ostrich. Don't do that.
It ain't that hard to figure out either.
Yeah, or like, hey man, it's not real golf if they wear shorts. Are you watching the DP World Tour? Mm-hmm. Like, I only love real golf. So you don't like DP World Tour? You don't watch college golf? Because they wear shorts and they kind of matter. Like, it's kind of, isn't it? We're just getting the ball in the hole though, right? That's like, it ain't changed. Be like, hey man, this new Live good. They play on concrete. They don't even play in the grass. They just play on concrete in a gym. I don't think that's what they do.
It's like, you ever go to your public course where you play every day? There are people in dress pants out there. I mean, everybody's got shorts.
When people complain, be like, I can't, the language on the golf course. I don't be like, you don't play golf then. You don't play golf, or you only play golf alone. Like, okay. Yeah. There's no cursing. That's on golf. That's ridiculous. So I look at Live and I'm like, it's not the same golf as the PGA Tour. But that doesn't mean I don't enjoy it. And I do, like, I'll tune in and watch it.
Yep.
I tune in and watch it. I do think that it could be better, but there are things on the PGA Tour that I think could be better. I'm not crazy about the music on every single hole. And my big question about the music, like, they're like, yo, golfing louder. We got a DJ who's playing music throughout the whole course. Be like, last time I checked, everybody don't like the same kind of music. Like, there might be some dudes out on Live and be like, can you play one country song? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or like, that's why Victor Hovland can never go over there, because he like death metal. Can you imagine? Like,
nope.
Victor
trying to stand over.
Oh, here we go. You know how them dudes, everybody from Norway is in the. I'm like, I don't know what that intro song is, bro. Golf is supposed to be about rhythm. That ain't rhythm.
About trying to stand over a 5-footer to win a tournament, you got that in the background.
I think that makes you a little more stressed, man.
Yeah, just a touch.
Yeah.
Well, nice, brother.
Call a timeout and put on Yanni.
Good answer there. I want to touch on 2 things. Kudos to you, first of all, because in a day and age where it just, how hot can your take be? How outlandish can your take be?
Loud.
You say the first thing that comes to your mind, and you say it as loud as you can. And, this is going to get me followers. This is going to get me. And that's why you're so refreshing for the game, is that you could easily do that, and it might actually help your brand. And you could be the next Stephen A. Smith and just get loud and start screaming at everybody. But you'd rather have a good, solid take than a quick take. And good for you.
I'd rather wait and be right.
Correct. Yes. And that's not the way that society goes right now. It's, I'd rather be wrong and walk it back later, because
or not walk it back. I'd rather be wrong and act like I never was wrong and just double down and triple down on stuff too. Yeah. And I'd rather be funny with a little bit of humility and be right and not have to say I told you so, which would make people more angry.
Yep.
Which is fun for me.
It does.
Sorry, not sorry.
It gets them riled up. And then the other part of that was Jay Monahan is a person. I've known Jay, for years now. And Jay's the first one that'll go out of his way to come over and say hello, ask me how I'm doing. He pulled me aside separately at headquarters one day and just told me how much he appreciated the letter that I wrote and what I was trying to do. And we talked for the better part of almost 2 months there, where I'd see him in the lunchroom over at headquarters, because I still was going over there quite a bit, meeting with them. And To your point, though, do I agree with everything the tour's done here? No, hell no. I think that this thing's gotten so out of whack and so far gone. They've screwed it up 8 ways to Sunday. But does that make Jay a bad person? No, not at all. I think he's a great human being.
And my whole thing when everybody was like, "Yo, they need to get rid of Jay Monahan," and who you bringing in?
Yeah,
I was like, "Hey, this dude was so." This tells you how stressful the job is. The job put him in the hospital, and they put two people to try and do the job that only he was doing by himself. And guess what happened once he was healthy? Two people were like, "Here you go, bro. We're gonna sweep it back here. You go ahead. It's all you again." You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that tell you? That they put two people to do the job that one person was doing, and when that person was in good enough health again, they were happy to give it back to him. Happy to give it back to him.
Yep.
And it's like, yo, when you're like, "Hey man, you got this person got to go," okay, because you don't like something. That was one of the other things that I think that people still don't want to admit to this day when it comes to the original framework agreement. And all of those golfers that were like so mad.
Yep.
How dare you not involve us in this process behind the curtain? That you did this behind everyone.
Yeah.
But look at how long it's taking everything now.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? It's because of all these cooks in the kitchen, because everybody wants a say and a voice. So what happens? Do you think that a group of 250 people are all going to be like, "We're all in agreement. Yay, this is good for all of us"? You think the dude, I even said that before, when they had that meeting in Baltimore, the private meeting. Can you imagine if the dude that was 121st on the money list or 121st in the FedEx Cup showed up? He would have walked in that room. I won't say his name because I did already, and I feel bad that I did it because everybody was like, "Who?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's my point." I was like, that dude walked in the room, was like, "I'm here for the meeting," and them dudes would have looked at him and been like, "Yeah, let me get 2 creams and a sugar. What you want? Tea? Want some tea? Want some tea? And a ginger ale?" And he'd have been like, "Excuse me? Yeah, you're here to get us something to drink, right?" Like,
"Excuse me, sir. Driving range is down the hall. Make a right out the door. You go hit some balls. We'll be out. The adults will be out here shortly."
It wouldn't even have been like that. But that's the whole thing. It's like, hold on. When you're trying to get something accomplished that's for the good of all of the game, then the people ranked 1 to 5 or 1 to 20 don't have the same needs, wants, or agenda as the guys that are 75 to 100 or 90 to 130. Those people all have different wants and needs and things that they think are important. So when you try to be like, "Hey, we're going to do what's best for everybody," how you doing that?
Yeah.
How you doing that to make everybody happy? Where it comes down when it is like most negotiations. If everybody leaves a little bit mad, that was probably the best thing.
Yeah.
It's probably the best if everybody leaves a little bit mad.
Yeah.
Right? Because then everybody, then you're getting a little bit, but not everything that you think is important.
Yep.
You know, and that's what compromise is. That's what for the greater good is. It's not we got to do what's best for them and we'll let it trickle down. Thanks. That whole peeing on me is not, I don't need that golden shower. I'm good. Thanks. That's not my thing. It's all right.
That took a violent turn for the worse there.
That's one of those things where people are like, "Man, that might, wait, no." Yeah. See, it's when you put it into context like that, you're like, not okay. Oh, that's not okay. Oh, all right.
Well done. Well done, sir. Future Birdies is based in Charleston, South Carolina, and is a developing golf platform focusing on player wellness and performance, and is home to the #1 hat in golf. Visit futurebirdies.com to learn more, and be sure to enter promo code WHEAT for 20% off of your first order. That's promo code WHEAT for 20% off. Future Birdies, aim high, go low. And now back to Mikey Collins. All right, man, but before we let you go, we're going to hit you with our 6-pack of questions, just 6 fun, quick hitting questions for you. Number one, is there a celebrity or athlete that you interview that still makes you nervous today?
No.
Nobody. I assume you're good with the golfers, but any kind of, Michael Jordan or.
No, the most nervous that I've ever been before doing an interview, I had to interview Nicholas, Clinton, and Bush all at the same time.
Oh.
And so that was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
And all I kept thinking was, if I mess this up, I'm not even gonna see that red dot. Lights are just gonna turn off. It's gonna be so much for that.
Night night.
Golf is such a fun.
Thanks so much for.
Yeah, that's what, and it'll be like, yeah, please make it fast. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm trying to think if there's someone who would like make me nervous to interview. I would be jacked up and like big interviews. I've never gotten to my one of my bucket list goals is to play with Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's got great stories from what I've been told, and friends that I know that have played with him, they have had a great time. I don't know that I'd be nervous if I had to interview him like on camera, but nah, I don't know. I get excited about an interview.
Yeah.
And unless even if it's live on the air, like with no safety net, I get butterflies, but it's not because I'm nervous. It's because it's like right before walking on stage to grab the microphone, where I'm like, yo, let's go. And it's the same thing that from my athlete friends that I asked, it's like when you run out for a big game or when you're going up to the batter's box in a big moment, the first time at bat, like you're not nervous as far as scared, but you're anxious because you like lock into that fight or flight moment. And so time slows down. And like I love that feeling.
Yeah. No, good answer. Yeah, I was trying to come up with somebody in my head. I couldn't come up with anybody, but you probably hit it on the head there with two former presidents and Jack Nicklaus, one of the greatest of all time to do it. And yeah, that could be a little. That's not your usual Q&A.
Interviewed like the first time I interviewed Jordan, I was terrified.
Mm-hmm.
But not now. Like just like I don't like. He's a friend, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? Like
now it's just normal conversation again. Once you get to know somebody, it's not real high stress the second time.
And now since I'm older and have like been around the block once or twice before, I'm always of the mindset of like your job is not what makes you cool.
Yeah.
Like your job can put you on TV or on the big screen, it can make you famous, but it doesn't make you a good person. It doesn't make you cool.
Yep.
Like you're not any cooler than the cable TV dude or the trash man or like a janitor or a teacher or a policeman or a doctor or a nurse. Like I know a lot of cool people with a lot of what other people would call like meaningful jobs that don't make them famous, but they're still cool people. And I know people that have those jobs that can be jerks and assholes, and you could be a billionaire and be a jerk and an asshole, and that don't make you cool.
Yeah.
So I every time I go into an interview with somebody, I'm excited to get to know them. And so I interview everyone the same. I try to.
Yeah. No, I like it. Good answer. This question's a little tough for me because I've actually seen your golf game. But let's come up with a hypothetical where your golf game is taken off and you actually qualified for a year on the PGA Tour. Now, you have your choice of caddies out there.
Was the rest of the field like attacked by a mountain lion pack or something? They must have been killed by a rogue pack of rhinos or something.
Look, I preface this with I've seen your golf game, so I can understand how hypothetical. I mean, there's hypothetical questions, and there's
this hypothetical is all caps right here. This is go like you got to yell it.
Yeah. So
all right, so I'm on the PGA Tour for a year.
Yep, and you get your choice of caddies. Who would be the top 3 guys you'd call? You're like, that's my guy. He's a ridiculously good caddy. He's the guy I want to walk side by side with.
Oh my gosh. but also like who would be good for me.
Yep.
And the type of game that I play.
You're saying somebody that can rake a lot of bunkers and teach you how to drop from water hazards.
Yeah, but I love bunkers, like greenside bunkers. I'm one of those weird guys. I'm like, because of caddying and being around y'all pros so much,
yeah,
I'd rather be in the bunker than be in the rough short of the green.
Yeah, true.
So, and that's people, my friends think I'm weird, but that's like it's all y'all fault. Okay, number one draft pick. I wouldn't put these in any order whatsoever. But AJ Montesinos, who caddied for YE Yang when they beat Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Him and I roomed together a lot back in the day when we were both caddying. I was caddying for Streels and he was caddying for YE. So he's definitely getting a call.
He's a great dude.
He's a great dude. He caddies for Chris Gotterup right now.
Oh, good. I didn't know he's back on the bags.
Yeah, he's been back out there caddying a bunch because he's a really good caddy and a great person. He's a good person to be around, but he's a really good caddy as well.
We bet somewhere that I bet him $5 on something, and I don't think either one of us would know what this bet was for. And I don't even remember if I won or lost, but every time I'd see AJ, he'd walk by me. Yo, man, you got my $5? Yo, man, you got my $5? And I'd do the same thing to him. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't tell you. If you gave me a million guesses, I couldn't tell you what we bet on, but yeah. All the time. He's a good one.
He's good people, man.
Yep.
He's such good people. We had a lot of good times together when we were caddying. A lot of horrific moments that are now funny.
Oh, like,
yeah. When we had to find a hotel in West Virginia, for that tournament, and we ended up staying at this. It was horrible. Like it was drug and it was so bad. It was bad enough that so the second night we're there, he's in his bed and I'm in mine, and he's like just starting to fall asleep, and I'm still kind of reading, and I got the light on, and I look over and I'm like, yo, AJ, man, get up. There's a bug, and there's a bug walking like on his forehead. And he was like, huh? And I was like, yo, there's a bug on your forehead. And he sits up and he's like, oh. And we pull back and there's bugs on the bed and stuff.
Oh.
So we ran to the front desk and was like, yeah, this room is infested with bugs. You gave us this a bug infested on the first floor. And she was like, okay, I can give you a can of Raid and you can bomb the room. What are we gonna do with our stuff? Like, we gotta bomb our stuff too. And then what? Like, we're gonna sleep in this Raid bombed room? We're just sleeping on dead bug bodies, whatever. Like, it was like it wasn't the first time that she had heard this complaint. She was like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm trying to find my next fix too. Like, okay, yeah. So
Bridgeport, West Virginia, baby.
Yeah, it was wild. We laugh about it now, but at the time it was just like it was such a horrific time. So yeah, AJ would be one. I would probably LaCava, I would bring on because him and I would have great sports conversations. As well.
That is Giants Eagles, though. You sure you're up for that?
Yeah, that's why. And he's like all new. He's Rangers, Giants, like he's the whole kit and caboodle. So, and being able to give him stuff, and our political views are very different as well. So like, and he argues with his guy on the course now about stuff. It's awesome. So, and that's why I love him, because he's very smart, but he's very like Connecticut blue collar. Like, this dude I love him to death, and that's the conversation would be good. But when it's time to buckle down, like, the good caddy is going to be a great caddy. So he would be in there too.
Okay.
And then probably man, who else? There's a ton of dudes, man. I could take Austin or Greller, like all these dudes. Adam Hayes would be awesome too. Kessler and I would have great conversation and stuff.
The good news is you don't have to ever worry about it.
I know, big time.
You're safe.
Well, hey man, I play in some pro-ams now, so You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
You got a Wednesday off and you need to learn the course. I'm gonna show you parts of the course that you probably ain't seen. And it was a surprise if you're playing. You're like, you're not gonna believe this. Mike was over here on Wednesday.
Yep.
How did you get here? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it happens. Yeah, probably Kessler, Karain.
Yep. Okay.
Patrick Reed's caddy.
Yep.
You know,
he's a good dude.
Yeah, back in the day, he does wing reviews too. So like after the round, we would go out and get wings and do like video wing reviews, and we're both really into movies. So we do movie stuff together and stuff too. So that
that's a good one. Yeah, Kessler's a good guy.
Yeah. There aren't any guys out there nowadays that I would be like, this dude absolutely not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's changed completely out there.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. I know we've talked about this before, but I'm not sure if you're a big gambler or not, but was winning $200 from me on Steph Curry the easiest money you've ever won?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you lucked out, bro. Mm-hmm. You lucked out.
Mm-hmm.
You can thank Dobby Vanderwalt for taking the hit for you, bro. You are so lucky. And Dobby, he took bro, and I felt bad too, because even he was like, bro, can you put, and I was like, bro, I don't want to tell you, when you say you're going to eat your golf bag, and I tried to warn you, like if I did the same thing for him that I did for you. And I was like, dude, help me help you. Like, I don't know why you don't believe me. I don't know why you don't trust me. But when I tell you how good somebody is, like, I'm not the chop at the local muni who's like, yo, I got a guy out here that could be on tour. No, you don't. Right? But when I tell you that, you're like, bruh, Steph ain't gonna do black. He ain't. And I was like, help, bro. I'm trying to tell you. So,
So
that was an easy $200 because, and that was another one. I was like, I don't gotta say it. I'll let Sports Center go ahead and do its thing for me. Thank you.
And they did. They were super nice about it. So for our listeners, I'll set this one up real quick. So I was playing on the PGA Tour. I don't remember what year this was, but Steph Curry got invited to play in the Korn Ferry event out in the San Francisco area. And I was sitting in my room one night getting ready for Thursday, and I'm watching Scott Van Pelt on Sports Center. And Scotty says, hey, Steph Curry is playing in this web.com event.
I was out there covering it.
Yep. Don't be surprised if he goes out and he can play. Don't be surprised if he goes out and breaks 78 tomorrow. And
saying, I'm on TV on SVP, and I'm saying, Scott's like, what do you expect? I was like, nobody knows how good Steph's game is. Do not be surprised if he's shooting 73, 74. Like, he's going to be right. He's going to play well. Don't be surprised. And, bruh.
Yeah.
Pick it up from there.
Yeah. So I decide for some reason to go on Twitter, and I send SVP a message, and I know Scott a little bit. And I said, hey, SVP, I love you to death, brother. I usually love all your takes, but you're miles off on this one. I said, there isn't a chance in hell this guy breaks 78 tomorrow. And I just let it go at that. And there wasn't too much Twitter backlash, anything like that. And they said, oh, same thing. He's outside his comfort zone. He's going to struggle.
From China.
Yeah.
Hadn't been playing golf. It was in China. He got off a plane from China.
Yep. So I played my first round wherever I was playing, and I get off the golf course. I go in to grab some lunch, and I grab my phone, and I just look down, and Twitter is just exploded. Like, I've got hundreds of thousands of messages, and I'm like, oh no, this is never a good sign. And sure enough,
what a 73 looks like when Steph Curry shoots one over.
Yeah. So I look in, and Steph.
So the smart move would be to like, wow, maybe he's better than I thought. I should probably just give him some credit on that. But no, what did we talk about earlier about I'm just going to go ahead and double down?
Well, I didn't double down with him per se. So, Steph tweets me back personally and says, hell hath frozen over. And I had about...
If Steph breaks 75, hell's freezing over.
Yeah.
And the tweet back was, hell hath frozen over.
Yes. And then I had about 5,000 Twitter bots telling me what a worthless piece of shit I was. and how I couldn't break par. I couldn't break an egg on a golf course. And
focus on your game. Stop worrying about what other people do.
Exactly. So I lost 100 to you that day, and I told you we talked on the phone that night, and I said how I was getting killed on Twitter, and I said, "Oh, fuck it, he had a good day. That's all it was."
And I
You
was
know
like,
what?
no.
Double or nothing tomorrow. And I truly thought I was like, I'm gonna get my money back at least. This is fine. And she shoots 74 again, and
Yeah,
I lose a quick 200 because I'm an idiot. So
yeah.
hey.
And what let you off was the fact that morning on the driving range, I'm with Dowie Vanderwalt, and I was like, "Hey man, remember what I told you yesterday? I told you this dude's good." And he was like, "He ain't breaking 80 today." Dowie, I just told you how good this dude is. Like he's been playing golf the same amount of time he's been playing basketball since he was a toddler. Like, man, he ain't if he breaks 80, I'll eat my golf bag. You just said that in front of the camera, and I was even like, bruh. Yeah. For if he breaks 80, I'll eat my golf bag.
Get some ketchup, boy. Get some ketchup, maybe a little relish.
His brother had one little piece of leather. I don't even think he chewed it.
I love the photo.
Let you off the hook.
Davey's got his golf bag on a dinner table. He's got a knife and fork sitting over it like this. It was a priceless picture.
The name panel taken off and stuff, and he's going to do the whole thing. And everybody was like, "Bro, we need to know when that little picture is cute, but get to eating, bro."
Yep, exactly. Start chewing. It's going to take a while. Yep. So thank you, Davey, for Davey for keeping me off SportsCenter a second night. Because SVP got me the first night, and thank God he saved me the second night.
That was an easy $200.
It was, man.
You did learn your lesson. You've never made any wagers with me since then.
Yeah, I'm still that same stupid guy. I'll probably make some bad decisions here at some point. I'll see you on TV covering somebody, and I'm like, yep, here we go, doubling down again on somebody else.
And I'm gonna give you a chance because we're friends. I'm always gonna be like, "Are you sure you want to do this?"
I'll be able to tell in your voice, and now I'm smart enough where I hear, "Are you sure you want to do this again?" I'm like, you know what? I don't really want to record another podcast with you telling about how I lost another 200, and so we're good.
Before I accept what you're proposing, I'm going to recommend you phone a friend.
Oh, I love it, man. All right, well, number 4, in all your travels with the tour, give me 2 or 3 of your favorite food stops out there.
New Orleans, but number 1. It's not even close.
Okay. Any place in particular there?
No, there's all of them.
Yeah.
But there's a restaurant there that Rex Hogger turned me on to called Two Jacks.
Yeah.
Where you just walk in and they were like beef or chicken. That's all you get to decide. And then they bring out 5 courses accordingly. And they ask, do you have any food allergies?
Yeah.
And then if you say beef or chicken, then boom.
Yeah. I'm allergic to an empty plate.
That's it. Like you don't and that's a really, really cool, different thing. And the vibe in the place is very New Orleans, but it's amazing. Like it's hard to get bad food in New Orleans.
Yep.
You know? So it's one of the only places, it's probably one of maybe 2 places in the United States I'll eat oysters.
Yeah.
And grits. It's one of the only places in the United States I will eat grits.
Yeah, all butter and all cheese, but man,
that Pro-Am, I would be like, I tell people all the time, like, if there's a Pro-Am that you got to play in, it's New Orleans because it's the only Pro-Am where you get fatter.
Yeah, you walk 18 holes, you walk 7 miles and gain weight.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And you by the 12th hole, you got the itis already. You just want to undo a button and be like, I don't want to swing club. I want to go back and get some more of them shrimp and grits and them char-grilled oysters. Holy cow.
Yep.
If you made char-grilled oysters by 17, you're like, oh, my goodness. Hope that car girl don't come around again. This is embarrassing. Hello.
So New Orleans, clear number 1. You got a second one for me?
Vegas.
Yeah.
Vegas is great because, like, the variety of food that you can get in Vegas is always really... It's always really cool. And then a sleeper spot is San Diego.
Didn't see
San Diego.
Yeah.
San Diego they have a place there called Dirty Birds that are the best wings in the United States.
Kessler turned you onto that one? Or is that your own find?
It was actually Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh, name drop. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What you hate? Why you mad? Don't hate, man. You said it was Kessler. Like, how come if I would have been like, yeah, Kessler, you'd be like, oh, why you name dropping Kessler? Like,
no, it's all right, man. I'll take
a
it.
Baseball player in a
I'm better than that.
town
Yep.
that like is also a foodie, big time, like an undercover foodie, amazing. I hate giving him credit for this, but he's an amazing cook on the grill. Like, so, and he does good wings. So he knows wings. So when Kessler and I were putting out, we were in San Diego, we were going to go do a wing review. He was like, Dirty Birds is the best. When he was playing, they used to get wings from there, which tells you something. Like traveling baseball teams would get wings from this spot. Yeah. So Dirty Birds was. I went there and it was everything it was cracked up to be. So it was pretty awesome.
I have to keep that in mind next time I'm out that direction.
Yeah. So I would say those are my top three. So
that's a good one. Yeah.
Vegas and San Diego.
Number 5. Is there a story behind your wardrobe and shoe game, or is that just Mike being Mike?
Yeah, it's just Mike being Mike.
Do you have any like white shirts with khaki shorts or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
because you got some color, you got some flair, you got. I mean,
yeah, they don't. I mean, and that's why I have like a white and a khaki thing because I'll throw a monkey wrench in there every now and then and rock that, just so everybody's like, "Hey man, is everything okay?" Like,
yeah.
What time is court?
Yeah. I always love when I'm out wandering the golf course, or the in the spectator area for the Players Championship. You're easy to find.
Yeah.
I'll just like gaze through the crowds out on the golf course. I'm like, okay, yep, there's somebody. And then I just see this fireball of like neon yellow and orange with bright blue shoes walking down the middle of the fair. I'm like, oh, there's
Well, the shoes got to match the shirt, though. That's the thing. I got to have the hat got to match and the shoes got to match. I am a little matchy when it comes to stuff like that. But I'm not khakis. I'm not JCPenney's dude. Like, I can't rock that. So
Mike being Mike.
It doesn't fit my personality.
Well, side question to that one then, since you and Perez are good buddies, Pat Perez, who's got more shoes?
Oh, he got his. Yeah, he got more.
That wall's ridiculous. I've talked to him.
His shoe room it's not fair. But that's the thing is, see, I do not have Stephen A. Smith money. I did not get signed with a bonus by Liv.
Yeah.
I did not get that.
He couldn't make you MJ couldn't make you a Jordan ambassador?
I'm not asking for that, man. I wouldn't do that.
Oh, I didn't realize you'd turn it down. Okay.
I didn't say I would turn it down. No, don't get it twisted. No. That's one dude you don't say no to. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, no, I'm all right, bruh. Nah, man. I would, if he ever asked, I would happily and proudly rock the Jordan ambassador. I would definitely.
Yeah, you ain't saying no to him. Oh, speaking of saying no to him.
Yeah, but he ain't got wild colors. That's the only thing. Like, he ain't got no crazy wild color stuff. So it would actually be from like the wild stuff that I would wear on occasion. It would definitely be like
something to match your khakis.
It would be a tone down a little bit. It wouldn't be khakis because Jordan ain't rolling like that. But
On a side note, I was talking to Harold Varner one day, HB3, and we were BS, and he was down in Jupiter doing something. And I said, "Hey, what do you got going on today?" And he's like, I was supposed to play golf with MJ, but then Tiger called and wanted to know if I want to come over and watch football. The Raiders are playing my Panthers. I'm like, you got to pick between MJ and Tiger on whose house you're going to go hang out in? Like, you base it on snacks? Like, who's got better snacks? Like, which golf course we playing? How many shots am I getting? How do you decide that one? He's like, I didn't feel like playing golf anyway, so I just went to Tigers and we sat around the crib and watched football all day.
HV3 is the reason that Tiger pulled out of a golf tournament one time at Liberty National.
Why?
It's HV3's fault. So
do tell.
We were playing at Liberty National. Tiger's in the field. He was not too far removed from his back surgery. So they're going to have a big... and here's the best part. It's a Tuesday. There's no fans allowed in. So it's only a couple of members of the media and stuff. And it's Brooks and DJ against Tiger and HV3. Yeah. That's like, who ain't coming out to walk and be check that out? Like, you think there's gonna be a little bit of smack talk? Like, you think we're not gonna get him a little bit walking around there? But what does HV3 do on the first tee? He was like, "Hey, Tiger, you ain't hitting it by me today." And Tiger go, "Oh, for real?" And I was like, "Yo, man, what?" And they're only playing 9 holes, but I'm, yo, like, come on, man. What you come on, you already know. Like, don't do that. This dude's, you said that because you know his back's up. He was like, "Yup, he can't go after it." So Harold, every time with the driver, steps on one. He's like, "Not getting that one." And every time Tiger getting 2 yards, 5 yards, 7 yards, just barely pitted by him, barely. But you could like, and then Harold's like, "I got you on that one." Tiger's like, "Well, we'll see." Walk up there, and Tiger would give him the courtesy look, and Harold is losing his crap, F-bombing and stuff. And they're playing, but the DJ and Brooks were all like, it's so much fun. We're having a great time. Everybody's talking smack. Like, these guys are still practice, but what happens now the next morning? Tiger comes to the course and he ain't in a good place right now. This dude's not easily walking and getting out the car and whatnot. And then I see him goes in, does a little bit in the locker room, did a little treat, and now he's walking very gingerly back out. And I was like, "Yo, where you going?" And he was like, and gets in the car and he's gone. And then 2 minutes later, here comes the little release from the tour, blah, blah. And I was like, "You mother!" And I go find Harold. Yo, this is, and I got him on camera. Yo, you know this is your fault. This is your Tiger had to pull out because but like, "You're not hitting it by me today." And now this dude is going after it during the practice round and hurts himself a little bit. But he did hit it by Harold every single time. So great. Good to go. You won that one. Well done, folks.
I love it.
Good one. Thanks, man.
On a side note there, because HV3 is he's a great trash talker. So I met him years ago down here at TPC. And everybody said, "Hey, we're gonna play with Harold Varner tomorrow. Do you know Harold?" And I'm like, "No, I don't know him at all, but yeah, send him on out. Let's have some fun." And so we just got along great. We just started trash talking right from the first tee, having a blast. This is like the end of January. So he calls me up. It's like February 2nd, February 3rd. "Wheat, you want to play today? Just me and you." "Yeah, sure, let's go." So just so happened, neither of us were playing much golf, like traveling to play much golf. So we played a ton in February. And I'm just getting drummed. I mean, this guy is driving it down. I mean, he can't miss a driver. Every drive is down the middle of every fairway and bombed. And I'm just losing, I'm losing twice a week, a bunch. And I'm like, damn, I'm getting killed here. And finally, like towards the end of the month, I was like, he's like, "What are you playing for?" I'm like, "Am I getting shots this time? Because I'm getting killed." I said, "I haven't beat you in like 3 weeks." And he looks at me without breaking stride. He goes, "It's my month, bitch." And I go, "What?" He goes, "Black History Month. It's my month, bitch." And I lost it. He goes, "You can't beat me in my month. I get 1 month." So, and it just so happened it worked out where we just laughed. We played again later that week. We played a couple more times. Then March 2nd comes around. And I text him. I was like, "HV, I need a round of golf. You want to play tomorrow?" He's like, "Yeah, let's go. I'll meet you on tee." So first tee at Sawgrass, we get up there. And he hits this snipe hook. Like, he hadn't missed a driver in a month and a half. He hits his snipe hook into the first trees at Sawgrass. And I go, "It ain't your month anymore, bitch." And he jumps off the tee. He goes, "God damn it, I knew you were going to say that, motherfucker. I knew you were going to say that. I was so nervous over that tee ball. I knew that was coming."
That's awesome.
Oh, it was such a good story.
Man, he's the best, dude.
Yeah.
He is the best.
Love that guy, man. Love that
charity
guy.
work that he does in North Carolina is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
We're doing some side business. We're doing some business on the side with some of his investments. And he called me up, and we're doing some top golfs over in Europe, and he was interested in the deal. And I said, "Hey, HV3, what's the deal? You want to, hop in?" He's like, "One question for you, Wheat. They take live golfers?" I'm like, "You going?" He's like, "You fucking told me to." I'm like, "Yeah, I did." I was like, "You're cutting your dad's grass. What do you think, man? That money goes a long ways with your lifestyle."
Yeah.
They're just funny the way
he's
did
a true country boy farmer at heart, man.
Mm-hmm.
That boy is a country boy, man.
He's the best. All right, Mikey, last question for you. So if 54-year-old Michael could go back and tell 22-year-old Michael the things that would help him live a happy, successful life, what would he tell him?
Enjoy the ride. Just enjoy the ride. Yeah, man. There's gonna be like ups and downs. It ain't all gonna be sunshine and rainbows, but it ain't supposed to be. It. But if I told the 22-year-old me like how life was gonna go and where you were gonna get to go, who you were gonna get to meet, like the things you were gonna get to do, and the people you were gonna be able to call friends, there's no way 22-year-old me would believe that. I still don't believe it now, and I'm living it. Like, yeah. So awesome. I ain't changing nothing. I would just tell the 22-year-old me, man, enjoy the ride. Like, there's going to be ups and downs. You're going to have points where you think like, this is the worst thing ever, and the world's coming to an end for you, but it's not. And like, just trust the path. And trust the path, and don't like. You were never afraid to say, yeah, why not? And that mindset works. So keep doing that, because that's kind of what's going to make life fun and interesting for you. Like, is saying, yeah, why not? Like, be open to change and possibilities and things that you don't even know are out there for you. Like, things are going to happen and opportunities are going to come that you have, as a 22-year-old, couldn't imagine, and be like, I'm not doing that. But like, sometimes you got to say, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So that's what
answer.
I would
That's
tell
the answer.
22-year-old me, man, enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. Yeah.
Well, I like it, man. Mikey, thanks so much for coming on, brother. You're one of the best storytellers I know. And as usual, I thought we were going to do this where it's like, hey, man, I need you for like 10 or 15 minutes. Then you tell a story, then I tell a story, which makes you think of a story, which makes me think of a story. And we could go on for days and days and days, man. But I love having you on here, man. And
hey,
we'll have to do it again sometime.
Always, man. We got, how many more stories there are? People keep asking if I would write a book.
Yes. I get same thing.
I can't. Here's the thing. If you and I wanted to write a book, the book that everyone would want us to write would mean that we would decide we're going to be a hermit from now on. Like, I don't want any more friends. I don't ever want to go back to a golf course again. Like write that tell-all, man. And I'm like, nah, I'm not.
No. Tell-alls have never worked out well for anybody that wrote them.
Right. Right. That's a great point. Be like, hey, man. Yeah, I'm saying that there's a lot of lessons in life like that. You know what I mean? Or like, hey, maybe the best idea is to just let's make it fun and do that.
Yeah. This author wrote a tell-all on Phil Mickelson's life. I'm like, well, enjoy your last book, pal.
I love the fact how come they never do hey man, what you've been doing now 7 years later? Hey man, didn't you write that tell-all that everybody was talking about 7 years ago? Yes.
Well, you started your own company now?
Like a cart or a basket. How long you been working at Walmart? You're like, dog.
About 2 months after I wrote that book.
Yeah, I guess that book didn't do what you thought it was going to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But look, here's the funny thing about stuff like that too, man. And I try to tell my friends and my kids that too. Like, everybody's your friend when the sun's out. But when this shit hits the fan, who coming?
Yes.
That's what life's about.
I can speak to that 1,000 times over. And that's one of the things when I was going through my dark times, it's like how many people just disappeared, how many people that were texting and calling once or twice a week when I was on tour, and I gave them an outlet to the tour or an avenue to experience some of that tour life. And the second that went away, so did they. And it's like, man, this is lonely out here. And you learn quickly who the ones are that are your true friends.
This room didn't used to have an echo.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, my phone's not buzzing at all anymore. Yeah, it was humbling to say the least. That's the one part of this thing I didn't realize was going to happen. But anyway, Thanks again, Mikey. You're the best, bro.
Homie, love you, bro. This is awesome.
You too, man. Well, I'm hopefully going to see you out here on the road at some point soon. So I'm going to start traveling again a little bit out there with the tour, and I'm excited to see you, boys. So we'll have to grab dinner, and I'll find one of those big food spots for you.
Ooh, yeah. We could just find a place and be like, hey, here's a reason this town is a good spot. Yep. Look, I find good food anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't got to worry about that.
You and I ain't afraid of a good meal, and we can,
I ain't keep this baby Buddha figure by not eating.
That's what I say. This shit ain't by accident. So, brother, be good. Enjoy your weekend, man. We'll talk soon.
Later.
See you, buddy. All righty, folks. That was the great Michael Collins. Hope you guys enjoyed that one as much as I did recording it. Mikey's one of a kind human being, as you can tell by now. But I love the storytelling, the Brendan Pappas bunker story, and then with the belt, the next hole, priceless. I'd never heard that one before. But Mikey's one of a kind, and I can't thank him enough for coming on. He's a beauty, and can't wait to see him again down the road here soon. But hopefully you enjoyed the pod. Be sure to listen next week. We got sports psychologist guru, the Godfather himself, Bob Rotella, coming on to drop some incredible knowledge on you guys. It'll be a great one for any golfer, but especially for you juniors, college players, wannabe pros. Be sure to listen. And anyway, hope you guys are all well, and have a great week. See ya.